The hands, the part of the rider's body that most influences the control of the horse. The reins, the connectors that carry your hand motions to the horse's mouth. The bit, the most important piece of equipment in the communication between horse and rider. Welcome to the Mikmar bit video. What you are about to see is information on how all horse bits work and specific information on the Mikmar bits, how to adjust them to get different responses, and why legendary horseman Frank Evans invented them over 50 years ago. The latest evolution from the original Mikmar training bit is the Mikmar combination bit. You'll hear from top riders how they use it and why it works.
I was pretty impressed, I must say, and in the meantime I've tried it on several horses, different types of horses, and I haven't had one which really didn't like it. You know, they all were very, very positive, they all accepted the bit well.
It's amazing how it works on every horse, because I still believe that actually the part what's in the mouth, the position, how it's put in the mouth, it's in such a nice level that you always get the right pressure on that.
It could fit both kind of horses, those with a really good mouth and a really nice flat work, and others that are a little bit more stiff.
To me, I haven't had a bit like that before in my riding career, and I've had many bits.
And it works as well for the world's top riders as it does for amateurs.
As an amateur rider, I can tell you that it's just like a godsend for me. Using this bit, I have found that it just gives me that little extra whoa that I need as an amateur. He'll back himself off the fences and jump these fences clean. He likes the bit, which of course is, 80% of the deal here.
And in the children's division, you'll see how 14-year-old Caitlin Hess, trained by Kevin Babington, has used the combination bit with great success. All this coming up on the Bit Video. The Mikmar Bit Company was founded back in 1953 by an accomplished horseman named Frank Evans. The first bit, called the training bit, was designed to get good results and help the horse to better understand what is being asked.
So I thought, well, if I could rig up a cord to go through and affect the bit so that it would not hit the horse any single time, that'd be it. So I kept thinking about it. Finally, the thought hit me, and I went and drew a little picture. The next morning, I went out in my little shop, and I built one, tried it on a horse, and it worked. You could just feel it. This is an awful-looking monstrosity that we first made, but it worked. I could feel it work. You could just tell that it was going to work. That was the history of this. So this happened in 1955. We got the patent.
Other versions of the training bit followed. They all worked on the same principle as the original bit. By the time Frank Evans designed the extremely popular combination bit, he had 45 years of history with the other bits that influenced the design. Now, before we get into discussing bits any further, there are a few words and phrases that are always referred to that we should brush up on. First is the points on the horse. This is the poll, the area behind the ears at the top of a horse's neck, where the second vertebrae is. It is a sensitive pressure point for most, if not all, bridles. The tongue, jaw, and nose are more obvious terms. But another term that needs explaining is the bars. It's a skin-covered area in the mouth, on the jaw, where there are no teeth. This is where most bits rest. Another term is flexion. Flexion is referred to as how much the horse bends his neck and head, which very much affects the way he carries the rest of his body. Vertical flexion is the amount that he bends his head, up or down, from the top of the pole. Lateral flexion is how much he comes around horizontally from left to right. Now, a horse can carry his pole high with little vertical flexion, and a horse can carry his pole high with a lot of vertical flexion. All this head and neck carriage stuff is the basis for how the horse uses himself and how much control you have over the way he goes. The reason horses are so responsive to the Mikmar bits is that as you pull on the reins, attached to the nose rope, the horse receives pressure to 4 different areas: the nose, mouth, chin, and poll. It disperses the pressure evenly and is less abusive to the horse's mouth, meanwhile giving the rider more control. The combination bit is the combination of 2 other Mikmar bit designs, the original Mikmar training bit and the Mikmar short shank. It combines the features of both, giving the rider many options for rein positions, which is very useful for adjusting to the type of horse you are riding. The first rein position is on the nose rope. By attaching your reins to the loops in the nose rope when you pull on the reins, the bit applies 4 points of pressure: nose, mouth, chin, and pull. This is a popular rein position. The second rein position is on the lower rein slot of the shank. By attaching your reins to this position, the bit applies 3 points of pressure to the mouth, chin, and pull with more leverage. There is no nose pressure. The third rein position is on the upper rein slot of the shank at the corner of the horse's mouth. This position also applies 3 points of pressure to the mouth, chin, and pull with milder leverage. This position is useful for lateral flexion. When attaching the combination bit to your bridle, make sure the nose rope passes through the loop of your bridle. Most all bridles work. You just want the nose rope to be able to pass through the bridle loop freely. It is very important to adjust the bit properly in the horse's mouth. You don't want it so low in the horse's mouth that it hits the teeth, or when the bit is activated, the bridle looks very loose on the sides of the horse's head. You don't want it so high in the horse's mouth that the horse gets no relief and receives pressure when the bit is not being activated. This is now properly adjusted for this horse. The chin strap adjustment is also very important for the bit to function properly. If it is too loose, the bit won't activate. If it is too tight, the horse gets constant pressure. Usually, if you could put your thumb all the way in between the horse and the chin strap, that works as a good gauge. Once you are properly adjusted, you can feel the wide variety of options this bit gives you. A single rein on any of the rein positions, or a very popular configuration for many riders is to use double reins. Double reins gives you a variety of rein placement and control. The options here are to attach one rein to the upper rein slot of the shank and one rein to the nose rope, giving a wide variety of control. Or one rein attached to the upper rein slot and one to the lower rein slot of the shank, leaving out any nose pressure. Or on the lower rein slot of the shank and on the nose rope, which gives you options to finesse the amount of nose pressure.
I've got the bottom rein, on the rope, and I have the other ring just in the middle part. It's just in the middle because I don't use actually it as a pelham. I use it as a normal bit, and when I need more strength or I need a little bit more pressure, I use the rope. And for me, it works out in this way the best.
The Mikmar bits are effective in a wide range of horse disciplines, but the combination bit and the short shank bit have become the favorites of show jumpers, hunters, dressage, and eventers both in the show ring and for schooling.
Basically, it's I think if a horseman would have the advice to look for something which really fits a horse, or a horse has to accept it well, I think he would have created this bit, because it's very sympathetic and light in the mouth. It doesn't cut even when you are a bit stronger with your hand. You don't open the horse somewhere, and then it also, because it's not full metal, it's kind of a light bit. It's sympathetic, and the roll in the middle makes the tongue, chew a little bit, and then you have the nose bend also, which is gives the horses a certain way of walking or working through the neck, which loosens the back, and there's a lot of little things which are very, very good.
Show jumping great Ludger Beerbaum found success with the Mikmar combination bit and his horse Gold Fever, in besting the 40-horse field at the World Equestrian Festival and winning the Grand Prix of Aachen.
I've tried him on different bits, on gogs and double bridles and stuff, and I had always 85% control. It wasn't too bad, but then with this bit I can do things which I couldn't before. I can turn tighter and still make sure he's with me, listening to me. And on a long track, every now and then, before I lost a little bit his attention, and with this bit I have his attention all the time. That is actually a very, very safe and nice feeling.
Mikmar bits give the rider more control, and they keep a horse's mouth soft and fresh. However, the bits always seem to make a confusing first impression.
Honestly, my very first impression was this is one of these American Western bits, which I've seen a few before, and I always thought for our warm-blood horses they would be too strong or even not maybe really fitting. And I was kind of doubting, but when I tried this bit, I was pretty impressed, I must say. And in the meantime, I've tried it on several horses, different types of horses, and I haven't had one which really didn't like it. You know, they all were very, very positive. They all accepted the bit well. You can play with a bit. You can make it sharp or less sharp. You know, pretty strong or less strong. And even a light horse accepts it really well. You know, is happy with the bit. Is chewing. And to me, I haven't had a bit like that before in my riding career, and I've had many bits.
Straight away the horse had a very nice feeling. He appreciated the bit and he accepted everything, and he started, you know, to work really nice on it. And then I said, okay, I'm gonna use it on all the horses. If they're good in the mouth or they are bad in the mouth, if they pull a little bit strong on the left or a little bit strong on the right. So I got it on all the horses, and I have to say that all the horses, they really accepted it. They loved it, they liked it. And so then after that, you know, I started using it on the shows. And then, you know, the first experience there was that they all said, you know, this guy is crazy, they put always this bit on the horse. And I said, okay, but then I said, try it. Because, you know, if you start and you try this bit, it's amazing how it works on every horse. Because I still believe that actually the part what's in the mouth, the position, how it's put in the mouth, it's in such a nice level that you always get the right pressure on that. The position of the bit is actually on the tongue, is in such a good level that the horse, they really, you know, even if you have more pressure on it, it's on a big part of the tongue, so they don't get afraid from this. And I think this is very important, because before, you know, I used bits on horses when they got strong. I said, okay, I take a bit what is sharp, maybe, you know, the pipe with the holes in. But then the horses, you know, they got nearly afraid of the bit, and I had to really use strong legs or really sharper spurs to get actually the horse moving from behind. But with this bit is nice because, you know, if you have the control and the horse is actually staying active from behind. So he's collecting himself better without that he is getting too heavy in the front. You know, they start to get light in the mouth, because if the pressure on the bit is coming too much and you use the rope a little bit, the horse understands much easier when they get a little bit pressure on the nose. So even for any young horse, even when you put it on a 3-year-old, I believe that the horse will understand the bit a lot easier.
I'm always happy and willing to try something new, and it looked a little bit different. And the riders that were using it said, really, you have to try it because it feels really good. And immediately I tried it on 2-3 different horses at the horse show, and it was really good. I was really impressed how it could fit both kind of horses, those with a really good mouth and really nice flat work, and others that are a little bit more stiff. So really the same bit could fit 2 different types of horses, so that's quite impressive. Well, in the jumping, what you're trying to do is between fences to have the best flat work possible. Really, it's and try to have the horse in the best shape possible, and this bit is allowing you to do this. And to keep your horse in a certain shape and in the better shape possible to approach every fence.
A great day for Otto Becker, the only double clear in the CN International. Well, ladies and gentlemen, does it get any better than that? The newly crowned champion of the CN International, Germany's Otto Becker.
Gold medalist Otto Becker and Dobell Cento ride in the Mikmar combination bit. After capturing the $1 Million Spruce Meadows class, in a press conference, Otto Becker credited the combination bit with making a difference in his ride and keeping his horse more together. He said both horse and rider have a very good feeling with this bit.
Legendary hunter-jumper trainer and rider Susan Hutchison has used the combination bit in Grand Prix competition with great success.
Actually, in the show ring, Lagometa was the first horse I used the combo bit on. With the combo bit, I was able to keep her round, keep her head in the correct position, and make smooth adjustments in between the jumps. I always use one rein on the rope and one rein usually on the curb. Well, it's worked maybe a little too well for me because I use it on just about every horse in the barn.
It works well on every horse because of the 50 years of experience and thought that went into its design. But still, when you first see a Mikmar bit,
it was pretty funky looking. I didn't know what the purpose was really until I, got closer and was looking at it, and I thought it was going to be too strong for the horse, that they wouldn't like it, but they actually love it, and it's an incredible invention, I think.
An incredible invention from a man who dedicated his life to the horse. He loved all the different breeds of horses and all the different disciplines. He designed these bits as much for the rider as for the horse.
I've always contended that you could take anything, again, if your hands are good enough, you could turn out a top horse. I think the people like Jimmy Williams, I've seen him with just a rope around the jaw. Made a beautiful reining horse out of it. And there's people with bad hands that didn't make any difference what they use. So the answer is not always bits. That's one of the reasons I developed this bit, because it applies so many people can use it without hurting the horse. I know when I was in the training business, I had 5 assistants. I spent as much time on their hands and bits as I did on teaching them to train, literally, to keep them out of the horse's mouth, give the horse a chance to react after they ask it to do something.
And Frank Evans' answer to getting out of the horse's mouth and giving the horse a chance is his uniquely designed Mikmar bits. This is 14-year-old Caitlin Hess and her horse Dryka. She shows in the children's jumper division. She trains with Kevin Babington, who has discovered the Mikmar bits not only work well for his top competition horses, but for his amateur riders and horses as well.
Caitlin's horse, for instance, she was having trouble getting collection after the jump, and I find that bit definitely helped to get the control she needed without worrying the horse. Caitlin is a good rider but doesn't have the same experience in the shoring that I have. So for Caitlin, for instance, I would use the bit just for training for now and have her ride in a plain snaffle or a soft rubber bit in the ring. And maybe when she has a little more experience, I would have her ride in the ring with the Mikmar bit.
Kevin rides Carlin King with the Mikmar bits, and they won the Grand Prix of Hickstead. He uses the entire line of Mikmar bits in his training program, which includes the combination bit, the short shank, and he finds that the original Mikmar training bit is also useful.
New releases of the Mikmar bits include the circle shank, which provides less leverage than the short shank, and the medium shank combination bit, which has a slightly longer shank, providing more leverage than the regular combination bit. But perhaps our most popular new style of Mikmar bits is the Mikmar Pelham. The Mikmar Pelham bit incorporates the traditional Pelham cheek pieces with the unique, lightweight Mikmar mouthpiece, giving you the perfect Pelham. This bit operates through both direct action and leverage, using a curb chain or leather curb strap. The cheek pieces are made of the highest quality stainless steel available, with brass bushings, ensuring a pinch-free fit. The Mikmar Pelham was designed to give the hunters and equitation horses a Pelham to use alone or in conjunction with training in our combination bit. But jumper riders have also found the classic Pelham design and chain chin strap gives them the control needed for jumping. Kevin Babington's horse Carlin King rides in our Mikmar Pelham and has enjoyed great success. The Mikmar Pelham is available in 4-inch, 4.5, and 5-inch shanks.
The short shank bit is a variation of the original Mikmar training bit. The shank offers 2 rein slots for leverage options, the upper slot being the mildest, the lower slot giving more leverage. The Mikmar short shank bit gives more direct contact. This bit has no nose rope. It applies pressure to the jaw, bars, and tongue simultaneously when the rider pulls on the reins in the same manner as the Mikmar training bit. It also has the flat, wide mouthpiece with a copper roller, which stimulates saliva production for a softer, more responsive mouth. The roller also discourages the horse from putting the tongue over the bit. This bit encourages both lateral and vertical flexion. The Mikmar short shank bit is excellent for athletic disciplines and useful for both veterans and young horses as well. It's a great alternative to the snaffle, Pelham, elevator, and Kimberwick style bits. In this snaffle bit, Tyler, a talented young horse, is carrying himself above the bit. His head is high and his nose is stretched out forward, a bit too much. There's no vertical flexion and his hindquarters are not engaged. He is not displaying the desired frame of a show jumper. Going to the jump, Tyler again has a poor frame, with his front end way above the desired carriage. This can result in poor performance and often knocking the jumps down. Susie changes bridles to the Mikmar short shank, and suddenly everything is different.
The bit itself is better than a Pelham. It's better than a snaffle from what I've tried. I've tried just about everything on him, and he's much more adjustable. He carries himself in a much better frame. The pole stays high, which should be the highest part of the top line for our jumpers, and he doesn't get too low, stays right where we want him to be, and is very manageable to ride. He's been quite a bully, strong horse. As you can see, he's a bit of a big horse, and this bit to me is a little bit like the Jimmy Williams elevator bit in that it has a little height above and a little below, so it gives you more leverage like the 2 or 3 ring bits. But the advantage to this bit is the flat mouthpiece that lies against the tongue and the roller inside the mouth that pacifies the horse and gives him something to play with and keep him pacified.
She coming from her background with Jimmy and having such a knowledge of bits, you know, really, you know, I think facilitated Tyler's career much more quickly than anybody else could have, because she had a lot of patience, she kept constantly trying other bits, and this short shank bit is the one we found that really worked for him. And as an amateur rider, I can tell you that it's just like a godsend for me.
I developed this with these side pieces, and I'll tell you, I've been happily surprised that the results I got better than I expected. In fact, some of the hunter jumper people have started using this, and they have found the same results. It's a marvelous little bit. In fact, it has surprised me.
The Mikmar circle shank is an excellent all-purpose bit. It is similar to the Mikmar short shank in function and use, but provides less leverage. The Mikmar circle shank bit operates through both direct action and leverage using a leather curb strap or curb chain. This bit offers 2 areas for rein placement: the upper rein slot, giving you more direct pressure, and the lower rein slot, giving you the very mild function of a leverage bit, applying pressure to the mouth, bars and tongue, chin and pole areas, encouraging vertical flexion. The Mikmar circle shank bit is designed to be used with double reins or a single rein alone, or a single rein with a converter, the single rein alone being the most popular rein placement. The Mikmar circle shank bit provides the rider excellent communication and mild leverage. The Mikmar medium shank combination bit offers the same function and options as the Mikmar combination bit, but provides more leverage due to its longer shank. The shank is 1 3/4 inches longer than the regular combination bit and is placed more forward. As the rider applies pressure to the reins, it sends a stronger signal to the nose, mouth, bars and tongue, chin and pole areas. The greater pressure results in more control for those riders desiring it. The Mikmar medium shank combination bit. It has all the features of the regular combination bit with a little more leverage. The Mikmar all-around bit combines a traditional style leverage bit with the unique Mikmar mouthpiece. This lightweight bit operates through leverage action using a leather curb strap or curb chain. The Mikmar all-around bit provides the rider with good leverage and control. It activates in a quick and direct way. The bit has 2 rein positions, making it possible to ride double rein. It's a great bit to go to when no nose rope pressure is desired, but leverage is. It is a favorite of some professionals to use in flat work. The Mikmar all-around bit. Effective for encouraging vertical flexion and useful for training, showing, competition, and pleasure riding. The Mikmar metal curb strap is an ideal alternative to a leather curb strap or curb chain. It gives more pressure than straight leather, but less than a chain. The chin strap is made of the same lightweight Mikmar metal alloy and gives any of the Mikmar bits a small increase in chin pressure, resulting in an overall increase in bit effectiveness. It is useful for training, showing, competition, or pleasure riding. The Mikmar metal curb strap works well with any style Mikmar bit.
All the Mikmar products are made in the USA. The manufacturing process has been developed over the last 40 years and is a key to its success. The special aerospace metal alloy the bits are made from is of the highest quality obtainable, the same as what's used by NASA on the space shuttle. Mikmar bits go through a special process to make them so strong. This is one of the few, if not the only bits manufactured this way, and it's part of the formula that makes them work so well. The genuine Mikmar bit is embossed with the Mikmar Bit Company logo on the right side piece.
When I first started, the average trainer did everything. He had Western horses, he had saddle horses, he had hunters and jumpers. He could do anything. Today, it's so specialized that if you've got an Arabian halter horse, you go to a halter trainer. If you got an English horse, you go to an English trainer. When I first started, we did it all. We did the driving, we did the showing, halter showing, we did the stock horses, we did the equitation. Today, you don't have that. And we're losing more of them all the time. Greats like Jimmy Williams and Joe Blackwell, Barbara Oakford, and people like that could do anything.
And one more that could do anything was Frank Evans. We dedicate this to his memory and his incredible lifetime of excellence in horsemanship. And Frank's legacy to the horse world is his Mikmar bits. Decades of training and a love of horses have created these products for all horses and riders to enjoy.
And I've been using it on some horses every day, and I must say that I never had one day that I say, okay, now the bit is not good enough anymore, and the horse still likes it. And that's why I believe, because the product is so good, that it will last for a very long time, because it makes actually the horse, even Ludwig Beerbaum, you know, his gold fever was always cutting in on the turns. And now with this bit, he doesn't cut in anymore, he stays better in line, so he get better approach to the fence again. And this is actually, you know, that he was in the beginning, he said, he was laughing a little bit about me, but after using it, now he's using it on all the horses as well. So actually the bit makes his own advertising, and it is, I'm not afraid. I believe that the whole thing will go for a long, long time. And I would like, you know, even with us, you know, because I'm in a German federation as well, that they could actually, even for young horses or even for young riders, to start to use it, because it doesn't hurt the horse, it doesn't make any damage, and it's much easier for the horse to accept and for the riders to learn.
It was one person had it, and then all of a sudden everybody wanted it, and everybody's using it now, and it's really amazing, because it's when you have good results, everybody wants it. Everybody wants a part of it, and they can have it.
You know, I haven't seen anything like it. I mean, I have something close to it. I've seen 1998 when I started with this GPA helmet. I started in the Hamburg Derby with it, and when I won the Derby there, I think in the next 2 months they sold 2,500 helmets. You know, so that was actually the start of the GPA helmet. But a helmet anyway is something different, and that was also the time when we had to use the helmets with a chin strap. It was a new rule in '98, so anyway the people had to change their helmets, and then okay, they were going for the GPL helmet, but with this bit everybody is free. There's not a new rule for using it, but they use it because it's so good.
We hope you've enjoyed learning more about the most important piece of equipment used to communicate between horse and rider, the bit. One bit can't change your entire relationship with your horse, but the Mikmar bits are an amazing step forward to having better communication and making you both happier.